Here's another variation of the Iron Cross presented by Mark the Point. Welcome back, subscribers. Welcome to my new viewers. Let's go ahead and learn this game of craps together. Hey everyone, it's Mike. Welcome back to the channel. So my last few videos were pretty aggressive. I played a few videos a few strategies that I probably would not have done normally. It's just a little too aggressive for my comfort level. So I wanted to go back and do something a little more moderate, maybe a little more conservative. I was watching some YouTube earlier this afternoon, and I watched a video from Mark the Point, and he showed a video that kinda is a variation of the Iron Cross. And I know I've played a few variations of the Iron Cross and reviewed some strategies in the past, probably from Casino Quest and maybe from Mark the Point. But I know I've done some in the past where I would set up the Iron Cross as usual, but instead of putting a place bet on the 5, I actually hopped the 5. I hopped the 5 for $15 each on the 4-1 and the 2-3. And those pay 15 to 1 or $75. The way that Mark the Point, the way he did his variation is he's calling it the dirty 5. So what he's doing is I'm going to set up for a typical Iron Cross. And it's basically $60 on the 6 and 8, $50 on the 5. And as we've shown in some of our past videos, we like a 3-to-1 ratio between the field bet and the 6 and 8. So we would put 20 in the field. Whoops, 20 in the field, just like that. This is how we would normally set up for the Iron Cross. Okay? The issue that people have is when you win on the place bets, you lose in the field. So you're not winning your true potential, and on a 7-out, you're losing everything. So the way that we transition away from that bad 7-out is we kind of transfer some of that risk over to the 5 by putting a lay bet on the 5. Okay? And we're going to make it a $60 lay bet on the 5. As you can see, that little $2 emblem on the top, that means there's a VIG for making that bet. Okay? So I would normally play this at the $500 level. On Mark the Point, on that video, he was playing with an $800 bankroll. I don't have an option to choose my bankroll, so I just went to the next level up, which is $1,500. So you go from 500 to 15 when you're playing the free version of Crapsy. So I'm going to play this out. I'm going to review his strategy. Again, the 5 is our weak point, our weakness here. That's what we're trying to avoid because we would lose the lay bet on the 5. The 7, we would win. It's a 2 to 3 ratio on the win. So we would win $40 in addition to the 60. The 60 would come down, add 40 to it. So we'd win 100, but we'd still lose our 120. So the 7 is still a loser, but not as much. Okay? But the 5 is what we want to avoid. So let's go ahead and roll this out and see what we're going to do. We want all of our bets working. So I've locked those in. We want to go into a turbo mode. And let's go ahead and try this out. This is called the Dirty 5, and it's by Mark the Point. So let's go ahead and roll. Okay, there's an 8. Now, the 8 pays $70 because the $60 bet pays $70, but we lose the 20 it's in the field, so we net a $50 win. Whenever you hit a 6 or an 8, you have to replenish your field. So let's go ahead and put our $20 back in the field. The way Mark the Point showed it, he put $70 here on the table. He put 20 of it right back in the field, and he racked the 50. So there's the $50 in our rack. 20 of it goes back into the field, and we're ready to roll. Okay, there's the 9. That's a field bet win. It wins $20. We don't have to replenish anything. Everything's good. We just go ahead and roll. There's a 2. We played double on the 2 and the 12. On Mark the Point's video, he had a table that played 3-to-1. That paid 3-to-1. So this is a Crapsy version. It pays 2-to-1. Pays double. Let's go ahead and roll. Okay, there's the 5. So we lose our $60 bet on the 5 and the $2 VIG. Okay, so in this case, we would just replenish that. So we'd go ahead and go back to 60. There we go, 60 on the 5. Okay, let's go ahead and roll. Oh, and we got to replenish our field. There we go. Let's roll. And there's the 7 out. So we hit both of our bad numbers. We hit the 5 and then we hit the 7. The 7, we ended up losing 102. So I wish I could go back and show you the payout on the 7. They took that feature away from us on the free version of Crapsy. But it's saying we lost 102. So I know I lost 60 and 60. That's 120. And then 20 in here, that's 140. But then I thought I would make up. I thought I would win 40 in the lay bet. So I guess I lost 140. I won the 40. That made it a 100 loss. And then I lost the VIG. And it put my original bet back in my rack. I guess that's how it came up with it. Okay. Let's go ahead and set back up. Let's put $60 on the 6 and the 8. Place bets. Let's put 20 in the field. And then let's put a lay bet of $60 behind the 5. Okay? Obviously, there you go. Obviously, we're looking for someone who can shoot or roll into the double digits. Okay? So that first shooter only rolled 5 times. So you're never going to do well at the craps table if you're only rolling 4 times and then a 7 out. So there was the 8. Did I only have 15 in the field? Darn it, I didn't. It says I won 55. So I won 70, and I should have taken 20 away. I should have won 50. Maybe I only had 15 in the field. So let's go ahead and replenish the field. Let's make sure we have 20 in the field. Let's go ahead and roll. Okay, there's a 6. Now, the 6 is just like the 8. I should win 50. So yeah, I probably did not have 20 in the field. Let's go ahead and replenish our field bet. There we go. And there's a 7 out. So, roll shooter 2 only rolled 3 times. Shooter 1 rolled 5 times. So, we need a hot shooter. Let's go ahead and set up. $60 place bets, 20 in the field, and 60 behind the 5. Okay, let's roll. There's the 10. That's the field bet winner. It wins $20. We don't have to do anything. We're just going to roll again. And remember, we're going to play every roll. We're going to lock in every roll. So we're playing the come out. We're playing because most of the times your lay bets are always working. So let's just keep all of our bets working. Okay, there's a 6. That's a $50 winner. Replenish our field bet. Let's roll. There's an 8. That's a $20 winner. So we want to roll 4s, 6, 8s, 9s, and 10s, even 2s and 3s and 11s and 12s. There's a lot of winning rolls, so we want to take advantage of all of those. We just want to avoid the 5 and we want to avoid the 7. Okay, let's go ahead and roll. Here's the 4. That's a winner. Let's go ahead and roll. There's a 10. That's the point. The putt goes off, wins us $20. We're already set up. All of our bets are on. Let's go ahead and roll. We'll go ahead and get a point, but this point will count if it hits, and it does. It hit the 8. We're going to win $50. We will have to replenish our field bet. There's the 5. That's the bad number. In this instance, we have to replenish the 5, lay bet on the 5, and the $20 in the field. We're still on shooter 3. This shooter has rolled 7 times. A 5 again. That hurts the profit. Let's go ahead and put 60 behind the 5 again and 20 in the field. There we go. Okay, there's a 2. That pays double. So we're going to win 40 on that. The puck is still on the 8. We're still in shooter number 3. Let's continue on. There's a 10 that pays 20. Let's go ahead and roll. There's the 8, that pays 50. Let's replenish our bet, and that's the point. The puck goes off. And our bets are working. Let's go ahead and roll. And there's the 5. The puck will move to the 5, but we are going to lose our lay bet behind the 5. And let's replenish our field. And let's roll. There's a 3. That's a field winner. $20 in the field. There's a 10. That's a $20 win in the field. There's an 8. That's a winner. I want to look at my roll distribution. You can see my 5 is rolled more than it should, but my 7 is a little below its anticipated or expected rolls. So let's continue going. Let's put 20 in the field. And there's the 5. Why is it that if we're going to transfer our bad number to the 5, we roll the 5 more than we should? But that's the way it works sometimes. You could, if you wanted to, I guess, transfer this. Well, you don't want to transfer it to the 9 because the 9's a winner in the field. But maybe you transfer it to the 9, and whatever that loss is, you lessen that loss a little bit because you make up a little bit in the field. Do we want to try that? Do we want to swing this over to the 9? See how this looks? So we don't win anything on the 5. That's the problem. Yeah, let's put it back the way it's supposed to be. Let's not deviate from what Mark the Point showed. Okay, there's a 9. That's a $20 winner in the field. We don't have to redo anything. The puck moves to the 9. Let's go ahead and roll. There's a 6. That's a $50 winner. We do have to replenish the field bet. Let's roll. There's an 8. That's a $50 winner. Them 6s and 8s really help out. There's a 9. That's a field bet. $20. There's a 5. How many times are we going to roll this 5? We're trying to show the plus sides of this strategy, and Crapsy doesn't want to cooperate with us here. So we're going to try one more try here. We're still on shooter 3, rolled 21 times, but this shooter has rolled the 5 1, 2, 3 times, 4 times. I mean, you're not going to do well. Even with a hot shooter, you're not going to do well if you keep rolling that bad number. Let's go ahead and roll. There's the 11. That's a field winner. The 4 is a field winner. There's the 10. That's a field winner. So if you think about it, you're winning on a lot of rolls, but when you do hit the bad number, it takes away a lot of your profit. There's a 9. That's a field winner. There's a 4. That's in the field. An 8. That's a nice win. That's a $50 win. But we have to replenish our field. And there's a 5. How many times are we going to roll this 5? Okay. How are we doing on time? We're at 13 minutes. Let's do one more try here. Let's just see if we can't. I mean, we're up $107. Let's go ahead and try again. There's a 6. What are we at? We're at 37 rolls. Let's replenish our field bet. There's a 10. That's a $20 winner in the field. And there's a 5. So this 5 is killing us because it's not supposed to roll this many times. I just don't want to. I don't want to end on a losing roll. Let's do something here. Come on, shooter. We're still on shooter 3. Yeah, now we're not on shooter 3. Now we're not on shooter 3. Okay, that's 40 rolls. It's pretty much a break even. We're down $7, but we transferred our risk to the 5 and we rolled it 8 times. So if we would have transferred our risk to the 4, it'd have only rolled 3 times, but that's just the way craps go sometimes. But that's the strategy. Maybe I'll roll this again and show a better outcome. That's the strategy. I would definitely recommend you checking out Mark the Points YouTube channel. He's got some really good videos out there, and he just posted this one earlier today. I saw it, I watched it. It reminded me of the variation that I did earlier, so I thought let's give it a try. Even though we're down $7, I kind of like this strategy. If we can avoid that 5, I think we could have easily been up $200 or $300. So anyway, that's going to be our video for today. I hope everyone's having a great day, and as always, thanks for watching.
Hey guys, if you made it this far, please check out these other craps related channels.